Today we're looking at notes II-2 Calculus Prep Day 2. So first we're reviewing difference quotients from much earlier this year. So in number 1, you're given f of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 7, and you're asked to find f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. Okay, so we know we need to find f of x plus h, and we need f of x. So first let's work on f of x plus h. So I'm going to plug in x plus h everywhere I see x in the function of f. Okay, so then when I FOIL this, I get f of x plus h equals x squared plus 2xh, or hx, doesn't really matter, plus h squared. And then distributing here, we get negative 4x minus 4h, and then plus 7. And then I don't have any like terms. Can you believe it? So this is as clean as this gets. This is as simplified as this gets. Okay, and then we know f of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 7. So these are the two expressions, because I'm only plugging in this part, not the equals. These are the two expressions that I'll be plugging in here. So, goodness, I feel a sneeze. So I have x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 4x minus 4h plus 7 minus, and then I need to plug in f of x. So minus x squared minus 4x plus 7 all over h. Okay, when this distributes in, I get negative x squared plus 4x minus 7. So what's nice is we have the plus 7 and the minus 7. We have the negative 4x and the plus 4x, and we also have x squared and negative x squared. So on top we get 2xh plus h squared minus 4h, and that seems to be it. That's all that's left once we cross this through, because it became this up here, and then over h. So what you hopefully notice is every single term, all three terms in the numerator, can be divided by h. All these terms contain an h within them. Okay, so we would have 2x plus h minus 4. So that would be our final answer for that difference quotient. Okay, number 2. Given f of x equals negative 3 all over x plus 1, find f of 1 plus h minus f of 1 all over h. So f of 1 plus h would equal negative 3 over, here I don't really need parentheses to plug in, nothing's being multiplied to that x, so 1 plus h plus 1. So this is going to equal, here, I'm going to actually come down here to be more proper. F of 1 plus h equals negative 3 over h plus 2. I hate writing horizontally like that. Really should write vertically. Okay, so come down. This is what we're going to plug in for this part. Okay, now we need to find f of 1. So f of 1 equals negative 3, 1 plus 1. Okay, so f of 1 equals negative 3 halves. Okay, so that's what we'll plug in there. So, oops, wrong color. So here we would have, okay, negative 3 over h plus 2 minus 3 halves, minus negative 3 halves, excuse me, and then all over h. So a couple of things. This minus negative is going to turn positive, and here we must get a common denominator. So we need to multiply this side, this fraction, by 2 over 2. And we need to multiply this fraction by h plus 2 over h plus 2. So we're going to write on this -6 over, remember this is going to distribute, so the 2 will distribute 2h plus 4. Okay, and then plus, because that minus negative becomes a positive, and then it will be 3 times h, which is 3h, and then remember this is minus negative, so it became a positive in between, so it's just positive 3 times h, which is 3h, and positive 3 times 2, which is 6, over 2h plus 4, all over h. So now that I have a common denominator, I may go ahead and combine on the top in the numerator. So you would have -6 plus 3h plus 6 all over 2h plus 4. So -6 plus 3h plus 6 all over 2h plus 4 all over h. So this becomes 3h over 2h plus 4 over h. And remember, this is like over h over 1. And you're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which would be 1 over h. So this will turn into, in the numerator we already have an h, and in the denominator we have an h, so we can actually simplify those. So on top you would have 3 over 2h plus 4. Final answer. Okay, so now number 3. Number 3, we want f of x, which is 1 over x squared. Got it. And then we want f of 2. So 1 over 2 squared, which is 4. Okay, so then we're going to plug in f of x, 1 over x squared minus 1/4 all over x minus 2. So again, we must get a common denominator in the numerator. Here, in this numerator, we must get a common denominator between these two fractions. So multiply by 4 over 4 here on this fraction, multiply by x squared over x squared here in this fraction. And so we would have 4 over 4x squared minus x squared over 4x squared all over x minus 2. So in other words, we have 4 minus x squared all over 4x squared all over x minus 2. So now what you want to do is you want to see, well, you have a couple of choices. I noticed this 4 minus x squared here, and I'm thinking, oh, that might be factorable. So I'm going to make this look like this. Negative x squared plus 4 over 4x squared over x minus 2. And then next step, I'm going to factor out that lead negative, and we get negative times the quantity x squared minus 4 over 4x squared over x minus 2. And you notice that that's a difference of squares, so this becomes negative x plus 2, x minus 2, all over 4x squared over x minus 2. And this x minus 2 is over 1. So we're going to bring this up, multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so then the reason it helped to break this up is because these two binomials simplify. So final answer, we'll bring it down here, will be negative, and then x plus 2 over 4x squared. Or it could look like negative x minus 2 over 4x squared. Okay. So that's your refresher on both fractions and difference quotients. So now on to the next topic, part 2. Rectangular height under a curve. This is so neat. I think you will enjoy it. Okay, so write the height of the rectangle, oops, kind of bled there, as a function of x. Okay, so that means use x's. Okay, as a function of x means x's should be in the answer. All right, so I want to know the height of this rectangle, just the height. Okay, so I need to know the height, or I need to know the equation of this line here, and I need to know the equation of this line here. So the equation of this line here, this is the x-axis, as you can barely see, but that's the x-axis. This is y equals 0. The equation of this line would be y equals 3. Okay, if that's the point 43, then this line would be y equals 3. And to find the height, you would say h equals, and you will take the top function and subtract the bottom function. So in our case, 3 minus 0. Okay, so the height equals 3. So you do top minus bottom. Top function minus bottom function, or equation. Okay. There's that sneeze. Excuse me. Okay, so number 2, find the height of this rectangle. Okay, so top function is y equals x squared plus x plus 7. Bottom function, this is the x-axis, so again, it's y equals 0. So top function minus bottom function, so negative x squared plus x plus 7 minus 0 is going to be height equals negative x squared plus x plus 7. Okay, next, problem number 3. So here top function is negative x squared plus x plus 7. Bottom function would be y equals 1. So we would have height equals negative x squared plus x plus 7 minus 1. So the height equals negative x squared plus x plus 6. Okay. On number 4, we have, this is our top function, this is our bottom function. So we would have height equal to negative x squared plus x plus 7 minus negative x plus 5. Okay, so this would become the height equals negative x squared plus x plus 7 plus x minus 5. So height equals negative x squared plus 2x plus 2. All right, last one here that we're describing the height. So top function would be y equals 8. Bottom function is this negative x squared plus x plus 4. So for this, height equals 8 minus negative x squared plus 4x plus 4. So we would get height equals 8 plus x squared minus 4x minus 4. So height equals, putting this in standard form, x squared minus 4x plus 4. Not bad, right? Now we're going to be writing the length of a rectangle as a function of y. So using y's in the final answer. So instead of top minus bottom, now we will be doing right minus left. Okay, so in this case, our length would equal, my rightmost function here is 4 over y, while my leftmost equation, this is not a function, x equals 0 is not a function, my leftmost equation is x equals 0, so minus 0. So right minus left. So 4 over y minus 0, which would just be length equals 4 over y. Okay, and then in example 7, my rightmost equation would be x equals 5, while my leftmost equation would be 4 over y, x equals 4 over y. So this would look like length equals 5 minus 4 over y. And I'd be okay with you leaving it like this, but be aware if this was a multiple choice situation, you might have an answer choice where length equals 5y minus 4 over y. What did we do there? Well, we got a common denominator by multiplying 5 over 1 by y over y, and then that would have been 5y over y, and so you would have had 5y minus 4 over y. So you may see either.